United States of America is not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic.
The United States of America is not a democracy. You don't want to be in a democracy.
We are not a democracy. We are a republic.
Is America a democracy?
America is a democracy. It was founded as a democracy.
I've heard a lot of conspiracy theories. I hear a lot of things out on the road. But to hear Americans, people who would describe themselves as patriots, say that America is not a democracy, that stopped me in my tracks.
You are hearing people say America is not a democracy because there are people around Trump who want them to be saying that, who've been planting that narrative.
That's CNN going full Soviet propaganda and trying to gaslight its audience into believing that America is not a constitutional republic. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and it looks like we were right to be suspicious when schools started pushing back on the Pledge of Allegiance because establishment media and Democrats are now trying to push the lie that there's no difference between a democracy and a republic. And if you think so, it's probably because of Donald Trump.
Biden talks about democracy, saving democracy. They're the ones that are killing democracy.
Obviously, there's a lot of criticisms of Trump that he is bad for democracy, that he's bad for American democracy.
Okay. We are a republic.
We're a republic.
We are
we're
not a
representative
democracy.
republic. We're not a democracy.
One thing we've been hearing at Trump rallies like this over the past few months is that America isn't really a democracy.
America's not a democracy, it's a republic.
It's not a democracy. Okay, democracy is actually not as good as you think it is.
But for centuries, America has celebrated its democracy.
Democracy is worth dying for.
Democracy remains the definition of political legitimacy.
But some Republicans and pro-Trump media are pushing the idea that America is not a democracy.
There's a number of things that give this away as blatant propaganda. The first is the spooky Now This style music designed to emotionally manipulate you, and the other is a smug, non-threatening liberal with an accent interviewing working class people and cherry-picking their responses. It's something straight out of The Daily Show. I mean, you could show all the ineloquent Southerners you want saying democracy sucks to try to make them seem stupid, but this is something the Founding Fathers argued over. Tyranny of the majority was a huge concern for them. It was kind of James Madison's whole thing. And if you want to go further back, even people like Aristotle had issues with democracy.
But I think the reason why this conversation about language has risen now is because there is a part of the Republican Party that would like to rule as a minority, and they need an excuse for why that's okay. And so they have begun to say, we're not a democracy, we're a republic. And it's not 100% clear what that means, but I think they mean we want Donald Trump to be able to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, look, I mean, Anderson, some of those folks no doubt genuinely believe that and might have believed it for a long time. This isn't necessarily a new talking point. However, we have seen it just revive over the past few months. And really the reason we did this piece was over the past few months, just unprompted. As I was speaking to a lot of Trump supporters, they would bring this very specific line up. And look, it's not a debate, right, about the former government here. It's not a debate about democracy. Really why this is happening, and you saw it there in that piece on Fox News and elsewhere on conservative and right-wing media. People are trying to convince Trump supporters, others, that America is not a democracy in the first place. And we actually saw, I happen to notice that this seemed to pick up a bit after President Biden's speech in Philadelphia, where he described Trump as a threat to democracy. This is how they seem to be trying to twist language to try and neutralize describing Trump as a threat to democracy, because if America is not a democracy in the first place, then there's nothing to worry about.
Johnny O'Sullivan, thank you.
Well, there you go. Even the James Corden lookalike admits that it's not a new talking point. It's just politically convenient for them to try to pin it on Trump. The attack on democracy thing is a fear tactic the left uses like a cudgel, similar to all their ism and phobe words. They like the idea of it because they influence all the institutions of power. It ultimately gives them more control to manipulate and lie to people and erase systems of checks and balances. Just look at how Democrats have been acting when things don't go their way. They've pushed to destroy the Electoral College, pack the Supreme Courts, all because they have this perverted idea that we're an absolute democracy or something. And to that smug woman's point about minority rule, democracy doesn't prevent that, particularly when Democrats are doing everything in their power to fracture the country into thousands of different identity groups. Then it just becomes whichever one of those is slightly bigger. But let me know what you think. Is America a republic or a democracy or something in between? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please get a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!